chance to be ruthless.
Hey kid, don't ever let them get inside your head. They'll tell you what to do in life instead of everything you know that you could get. Don't let them guide your life towards regret. I'll fight for what I love with every breath. My past is filled with things I won't forget. I use them all to push me to my best. So treat the worst of times just like a test. If only I could go back in time, I'd tell myself that everything will end up alright. Just push yourself, test yourself, figure out what you like, and find your limits, don't be rigid, always work towards a prime. Surround yourself with open minds, people can change your life. A few friends with intent can help you feel alive. Find a passion, take some action, and with a little time, just be patient, make a statement, try to enjoy your life. They'll try to kick you while you're down. They wanna rise up while you drown. They wanna fill your head with doubt. They're silently scared that you'll figure it out. I'll make it look like I'm losing, won't bother hiding my bruises. And when they finally think you're wounded, then it's your chance to be ruthless. I'll make it look like I'm losing, won't bother hiding my bruises. And when they finally think you're wounded, then it's your chance to be ruthless.
Welcome to the Off-Label Podcast, your weekly dose of sanity in an insane world. Look, I know I'm starting incredibly late. It was supposed to be set up for, 52 minutes ago? However, I went out to the movies to see something, and, well, I set it up for 2:45, but it turns out the movie was actually for 3:30. So there was a big delay in the time we actually got to set up to this, and I have something I need to talk about before we get into the stories that I have lined up for this. First of all, I'm going to say one thing. I went and saw Sound of Freedom. While I was waiting for the movie to start, I was looking at different articles. And I have to say this, and I don't care if it gets taken off of YouTube or whatever. All of you so-called journalists out there writing articles about this, trying to downplay this movie, fuck you. Every bit of it. Fuck you. Fuck your life. Fuck your existence on this planet. I don't give a shit. The shit you try to spew on a daily goddamn basis. The bullshit you spread to people. Well, to put it nicely, you shouldn't exist. Not only in media, but in life itself. And I'm going to highlight one. Sound of Freedom is a superhero movie for dads with brain worms. The QAnon-tinged thriller about child trafficking is designed to appeal to the conscience of a conspiracy-addled boomer by Miles Klee. Miles Klee? Well, I hope you get concrete shoes. I'm going to read on a little bit here. Based on a true story. It is. I heard from somewhere across the theater. The familiar words had appeared on screen. An elderly man had taken it upon himself to read them aloud. The rest of the sizable audience seated for a matinee showing of the anti-child trafficking thriller Sound of Freedom starring Jim Caviezel. For the seasoned moviegoer, the phrase is a joke. Is it? Is it a joke? So it's now a joke to make something that's based on a true story? Your life is a joke. Your existence on this planet is a joke. Your mother should have taken it in the ass the day you were conceived. She would have not regretted half her life, and we wouldn't have to put up with your stupidity. We know that cinema will stretch almost any truth to the breaking point. And the rank insecurity of such a pronouncement is the foundation of the prankish opening of titles of Fargo. But this crowd, I could tell, would view the events depicted over the next 2+ hours as entirely literal. Or are you making shit up? Are you making shit up to shit on something that you're trying so hard to cover up? Because I have to question you, Miles Klee. I have to question what you do in your free time. I have to question your lifestyle. Yes, I am pissed off. Caviezel, best known for being tortured to death in Mel Gibson's The Passion of the Christ. Oh my Jesus, let's bring this up too. Has become a prominent figure of conspiracist right, giving speeches and interviews in which he hints at an underground holy war between patriots and a sinister legion of evildoers who are harvesting the blood of children. It's straight up QAnon stuff. We'll come back to that. We'll come back to that and how you tied that into this. Right down to his use of the catchphrase, "The storm is upon us." I'll show you where that comes from. Here he gets to act out some of the drama by playing a fictionalized version of Tim Ballard, head of the anti-sex trafficking nonprofit or Operation Underground Railroad, in a feature film that cast the operator as a Batman-style savior for kids who sold into the sex trade, slave trade. Batman-style savior? The only reason you say that is for the last ending scene in which he saves the little girl and he gets in a fight with a gang boss. That was the only thing you could tie into that, you piece of fucking dog shit. Ballard himself has dabbled in Q-adjacent conspiracy theories. Now it's Q-adjacent? Before you said all this was QAnon stuff. Now it's Q-adjacent. You see how he's trying to walk all this back and still tie it in to some bullshit? Such as the Wayfair trafficking hoax, which is, while his organization has far-right affinities and a long record of distorting its botched raids, which rely on bizarre tactics like asking psychics where to find their victims for rescue. Okay, so stupid-ass stories of people doing stupid-ass things you have to relate into something like this that actually did happen? To downplay it? Oh. Now we got real fucking problems because now you're just making up shit. Now you are making up every damn thing about this. Yes, I am pissed. Ballard, or Caviezel, Jim Caviezel, and others of their ilk had primed the public to accept Sound of Freedom as a documentary rather than a delusion of fomenting moral panic for years over the grossly exaggerated epidemic of child sex trafficking. Much of it funneling people into conspiracist rabbit holes in QAnon communities. In short, I was at the movies with people who were there to see their worst fears confirmed. Sound of Freedom lives up to the anticipation. It's a stomach-turning experience fetishizing the torture of its child victims and lingering over lush preludes of their sexual abuse. Sounds to me like you're the pedophile, dude. Sounds to me like you're the pedophile. Sounds to me like you went into this movie wanting to see little children get fucked. That's what it sounds like to me. The way you were writing this, it sounds like you're trying to get your rocks off to the thought of little kids getting fucked. You fucking sick ass bastard. At times, I had the uncomfortable sense that I might be arrested myself just for sitting through it. Why? Because you're scared people will think you're a pedophile because you're trying to get your rocks off to the thought of kids getting fucked? Is that what it is? Because the movie shows nothing grotesque in any way. Shows nothing grotesque. As a matter of fact, there is absolutely nothing wrong with the movie. It was a well-written movie. Well acted, well played out, well directed, well edited. It was one of the best movies I've seen in a long time. But yet here you are talking shit about it. Why? Because you don't want people to know that you're fucking little kids? Because now I have to question it. You writing this? I have to question. Let's see. Nonetheless, the mostly white-haired audience around me could be relied on to gasp, moan in pity, mutter condemnations, applaud, and bellow amen at moments of righteous fury, as when Ballard declares that God's children are not for sale. Oh, there's another part of it. That line, God's children are not for sale, is one of the songs that are written into the show there, or the movie. It's one of the songs, the name of one of the songs that they use. He does use that line at the very end of the movie. And the only other time in that movie God is ever mentioned is when he's talking to somebody that he's trying to set up a sting with, and he asks why he's doing it. This has nothing to do with religion. But because there's a lot of, I just hate religion. I hate Christians. I hate these people. Yeah, he's trying to play at your heartstrings. He's trying to tug at you. Yeah. You can go fuck yourself. They were entranced by what they clearly took for a searing expose. Not even the occasional nasty coughing fit, and we had no shortage of those, could break the spell. Why? Because it was a good movie? It was a really good movie? And it was worth paying attention to? There wasn't a lot of action in it. There was barely any gunfire, no explosions. But everybody was captivated by the movie. Oh, why? Why do you think that is? You think it's because there's a whole bunch of Christians out there? You felt threatened by sitting by people who believe in God? Or is it you felt threatened by people who didn't want children to be raped? And you have a fantasy of raping kids? Could that be it too? Because now I question. At the outset, we're introduced to Caviezel Ballard, working for the Department of Homeland Security as part of an Internet Crimes Against Children task force. He takes down purveyors of child images. But fuck it, I'm going to say it. He takes down purveyors of child pornography, but is haunted by the knowledge that the actual victims are beyond his grasp. Meanwhile, a father in Honduras entrusts his young daughter and son to a woman who claims she can set them up with modeling careers, only to abduct them for transport to a child sex trafficking ring in Colombia. When Ballard takes the initiative of arranging his first sting to nab a pedophile who had stolen children into I'm so pissed I can't even read right now. He conveniently ends up rescuing that little boy and commits to finding his sister as well. Eventually, he'll abandon the DHS altogether, a rogue crusader fed up with bureaucratic limitations to infiltrate and bring down the Colombian operation. A rogue crusader fed up with bureaucratic limitations. The way you wrote that? After seeing that movie, after going and watching that, I'd have done the exact same fucking thing. I'd have done the exact same thing because that rogue that you're talking about, he went out there. He was starting to set it up to find this little girl and more children like her. And his boss said, no, you ain't brought anything to us. You haven't brought any kind of real evidence. You need to pack it up and come home. And he said, no, fuck that. I'm staying. And I'm going to finish this job. A rogue crusader? Miles Klee is a fucking pedophile. Apart from its relentless messaging, the movie is hobbled by a near total absence of procedural logic, sorry. The original rescue is only possible because Ballard is standing at the exact right spot of a US-Mexico border station at the very moment his target tries to cross. Lucky. Like that never happens? Like that's never a thing. Meanwhile, in the original story, no, it wasn't Tim Ballard that found that little boy that's in the movie. No, it wasn't him. They did put Tim Ballard in that spot for that reason, yes. But the fact that you even tried to point that out without even knowing the story itself is fucking pathetic. Incredibly pathetic. Earlier, Ballard convinces an imprisoned child porn peddler facing a sentence of 30 years to help him contact traffickers in exchange for an immunity deal, needlessly posing as a pedophile himself to gain trust. Well, that's what you do when you go undercover. When the guy fulfills his end of the bargain, Ballard has a dozen police officers swarm the diner therein to arrest him again? Wait. How was he sprung from custody in the first place? Doesn't matter as long as the drilling creep with requisite glasses and pervert mustache gets his head slammed against the table once more. The same muddled approach is taken to Ballard's. The same muddled approach is taken to Ballard's later. Ballard's later? I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about with that. The same muddled approach is taken to Ballard's later. More sensational busts, which is certainly in keeping with our way of OUR, embellishes what? I don't even know. That's Operation Underground Railroad. Never mind. Which is certainly in keeping with the way Operation Underground Railroad embellishes and misrepresents their international missions, according to Vice News investigation of the group. Vice News. You reference Vice News. By the way, Vice News has gone under. Vice News is now completely dead. Vice News no longer exists. So for you to reference Vice News on this destroys your entire credibility throughout the entire thing, if it already wasn't done with the way you were writing this. So let me explain this to you. When the guy fulfills his end of the bargain, Ballard has a dozen police officers swarm the diner they're in to arrest him again? Wait, how was he sprung from custody in the first place? Okay, let me explain that scene to you since you so fervently want to act so goddamn retarded. He takes him out of police custody to talk to him on a personal level, and he imagines the dude getting arrested again. In his own mind, he imagines it going down that way. Now, later on in the scene, you find out how it really happened. Yeah. See, you left all that out, right? A scene that's supposed to kind of show you what the main character's thinking and how he's feeling and what he really wants to do in that moment in time. You left all that out just so you could write some kind of shit hit piece. Because you're a pedophile. You are a pedophile. Oh, you got a problem with that? Well, then why the fuck are you defending the fucking of little kids? You got a problem with what I said, Miles Klee? Let's investigate your fucking past. Let's investigate Rolling Stone. Let's investigate the entire business, because this was a Disney thing. If I'm not mistaken, this was a Disney thing. And Disney employees and former judge among 108 arrested in human trafficking sting in Florida. This was in March of 2022. There were 4 Disney employees that were arrested in that sting. So, shall we look into Rolling Stone? Shall we look into how many people within Rolling Stone are fucking little kids? Yeah, I am pissed. And I'm gonna be pissed. Give me a second, guys. Okay. Then you have Caviezel, bleach blonde to match Ballard's buff, clean cut Mormon profile. What the fuck does Mormon have anything to do with this? Huh? What does that have anything to do with? What does the dude's religion have anything to do with this? Is it just the fact that you want to attack religion? Because you're a fucking pedophile? Is that it? Performance-wise, he struck on a note of world historical grief, either crying or staring with bloodshot eyes as he attempts to convey the scale and weight of a tragedy before him. You mean like an actor would? Is that what you're getting at? The unambiguous hero of the piece, Ballard invokes parenthood as his motivation for an argument to get the cooperation he wants. What if it was your daughter? What kind of fucking argument is that? Seriously, what kind of fucking argument is that? Because in a movie about child trafficking, and people are like, well, I don't want to do this. I don't really care about this. Anybody would ask, well, what if it was your daughter? What if it was your son? What if it was your child? So you're going to use that as a hit? Oh, you pathetic fuck. You definitely need to be investigated now. It's practically his catchphrase. No, he only says it one fucking time in the movie. One time he says it in the movie, but it's practically his catchphrase because he says it one time. Just like he says, God's children are not for sale one time at the very end of the movie. I thought that was his catchphrase. That's what you were trying to imply in the very beginning of this. But now this is his catchphrase? What, is the whole movie supposed to be catchphrase apparently to you? Miles Klee, you are the shittiest fucking writer I have seen, and that goes a long way because we got people like Taylor Lorenz writing articles. And this is even worse. I would listen and read shit more from Taylor Lorenz than I would this pedophile fuck. Yet aside from a dialogue-free breakfast scene, he never interacts with his offspring. Oh. Oh. So, let me ask you a question. In a movie that has nothing to do with his family, other than showing that he is a father, why do you want to see his children? Why do you want to make his children part of the movie? What is the point of that? As if Mira Sorvino, who plays his wife Catherine, spent more than a day on set. And if Mira Sorvino, who plays his wife Catherine, spent more than a day on set, you never know it. She's there for all of 2 minutes, offering brief words of encouragement when Ballard spends weeks undercover and a loose sex tourist in South America. So a movie about child sex trafficking. You try to take an attack because it doesn't show his family and he talks to his wife, who has nothing to do with the movie for all of about 2 minutes in the movie. Wow, you're really reaching now, aren't you? You're really reaching. You've got nothing to say other than to try to hide your pedophilic fucking actions and thoughts. She too, evidently, as a personal stake in joining this film, she too evidently had a personal stake in joining this film, telling the Washington Examiner this week that she has met so many child survivors and my heart burns from them. Oh, there it is. Yeah. There's your underhanded, sneaky jab. Because she's met child sex trafficking survivors, you want to take a shot at her for being in a movie that your pedophilic ass wants to write a hit piece on. I don't understand. I don't get it. As implausible as this movie is, it invents a finale where Ballard journeys deep into a jungle alone to pluck a girl from the clutches of a guerrilla militants, which he accomplishes by posing as a doctor distributing cholera vaccines. Which that part is true, except he wasn't alone. Tim Ballard wasn't alone. But yet it would cost more money because they only had a budget of like, what was it, $15 million or something like that? They only had a budget of that. Casting 10 to 15 other fucking people just to walk around in the background and maybe say a line or two and move around things in the background would cost an incredible amount of money for no reason. So yeah, it makes sense. Cut down the entire crew and make it just one person. It's easier, it's more cost effective, but the point still gets across. One wonders if it was extreme enough for Caviezel's liking. I'm about to have a stupidity aneurysm. The actor has taken to repeating the most grotesque falsehoods of the sprawling QAnon ideology, among them that the traffickers are harvesting children's organs and exacting the chemical compound of adrenochrome from the brains before he murdered them. No. Hold on. Everything that I have found about this before even watching this movie, everything that I have found, he has never said anything about this. But we all know that there is a child pedophile ring going around that sells children into sex slavery. That's well known. That's well documented. But you want to bring up QAnon because the dude mentions it in a little interview. You want to bring up QAnon and the chemical compound adrenochrome. Like that was never a thing in any of the interviews. Anything that he has ever said, that has never been a thing. Harvesting children's organs? Well, maybe that's because these child predators, after they're done having their way with them, would kill these kids. Because if the kids got out and started saying their stories, just like in the Epstein case, if the children got out and started telling their stories, these predators, well, there may be a shitstorm that comes their way. Harvesting children's organs? Well, black market organ trade is a thing. It does exist. So if you're going to kill somebody you're done having your way with, it makes sense to take out organs and sell them on the black market. And it does happen. There are hundreds of documented cases about things like that happening. So, Miles Klee, again, you're a failed fucking journalist. And the only reason you're writing this is because you couldn't get your rocks off because it didn't show adults fucking kids on screen. I am now 100% convinced that is your deal. Compared to this nonsense, Sound of Freedom is relatively grounded in our universe. But the mainstream accessibility makes it valuable as a recruitment tool, much as a generic Save the Children's campaign prolonged gateways to far-right conspiracy theorists about a secret cabal of evil elites conducting blood rituals. On the QAnon message board, Great Awakening this week, adherents celebrated the movie's box office success. It was quickly made back. Its modest budget of around $14 million and out-earned the latest Indiana Jones sequel on July 4th, its premiere date. And the franchise blockbuster has been out for several days while crowing that demons, including movie theater employees, annoyed by demographic it pulled in, were miserable at their victory. Hold on. Fucking what? After the franchise blockbuster has been out for several days, while crowing that demons, including movie theater employees annoyed by the demographic it pulled in, were miserable at their victory. Could it be the people that they're referring to as demons are pedophiles or pedophile apologists like yourself? You know, the ones that want to write hit pieces and make it seem like things like this aren't happening. You know, the ones who deny child sex trafficking is actually fucking happening because it never happened to you. Could it be that these people that are crowing demons are talking about the evil fucking pieces of shit like you that let this happen? Or is it because some people about this are religious and you just want to take a religious attack? Could be both. Do you see how more powerful we are than the legacy news? Wrote one board user. We are the news now. On a different thread, someone attempted to prove that Donald Trump's endorsement of the film on Truth Social on Thursday was connected to a random Q post from 2018 because of the timestamps on each. Some discussed efforts to get normies who are in need of awakening to see Sound of Freedom, including with the assistance of promotional programs that allow customers to buy tickets for strangers. Crimes against children will unite us all. Every eyes are opening. Read one optimistic post, while another was more empathetic still. We are witnessing true divine intervention. So you go out looking for these crazies that say these things, this small fringe group, and you want to try to make that mainstream to prove your point? Now, do you see how more powerful we are than the legacy news? We are the news now. Yes, we are the news now. Because all mainstream media, including Rolling Stone, who is trying to cover up child sex trafficking, trying to make you think that it doesn't happen because Miles Klee gets his rocks off by thinking about or watching or even practicing fucking little kids. No, we shouldn't make these claims. We shouldn't be this way. We shouldn't say these things about people. Why? Why? Because we need to be shaming these people who want to cover these things up. We need to be bringing their closet full of skeletons out to the fucking surface, like the 4 Disney employees that were arrested in a sting of 108 people last year. 108 pedophiles in one sting in Florida last year. And you want to cover that up, Miles Klee? You want to run cover for these people? Yeah. I'm not going to read the rest of this because it keeps going on with some bullshit over and over and over and over and over again to go attack them. If you really want to read the rest of the article, you can go to Rolling Stone. Just search Rolling Stone Sound of Freedom and you can see this article. It is fucking pathetic. It is a desperate attempt to cover up child sex trafficking. It is a desperate attempt for them to make you look away from a damn good movie. Because the movie doesn't show anything. The movie's not action packed. There's very few gunfire. The only actual fighting you get is really at the end of it, where he's being chased down after rescuing the little girl from the Colombian cartel. Where he fights off that Colombian boss and stabs him with his own knife, or with the dude's own knife. That's the only action you get in this entire movie. It's not action. What did he say? QAnon tinged thriller about child trafficking is designed to appeal to the conscience of a superhero movie. I'm sorry, it's not an action movie. A superhero movie. That's the only part of this that he can actually relate to this title. That's the only part of it that brings any kind of thought about that, is he has a fist fight with a cartel boss. That's it. This is a pathetic fucking attempt. But you want to see the movie? I guarantee you like it. I guarantee you'll like it. You can go to angel.com /freedom. You can buy tickets. You can purchase your own tickets. And there are 2,424,428 tickets that are still available for you to claim your own. And you can go watch it. I urge you to go watch it. So you can see how all of these articles, like the Rolling Stone and dozens of other ones, are just full of shit. Every bit of it. Now, the whole QAnon thing that they're talking about, this comes from Mr. Bass. It says, human trafficking is a conspiracy theory now. Jim Stewartson, Ukraine flag in the bio so we know you're full of fucking shit, anti-disinfo activist. Well, you're just a horrible piece of shit human fucking being because you think you're doing something while you're sitting there trying to cover up for child sex trafficking. He says, the dangerous QAnon video Sound of Freedom premiering tomorrow is designed to indoctrinate people through lies about threats to their children. It is a military-grade psychological warfare to radicalize American ISIS. Jim Caviezel is QAnon. Let's see what he says. Where's the play button?
Passion, I couldn't get a job. The studios wouldn't hire me, but see, they're all controlled by the central banks. People have to, do you really think Biden is the president of the United States? Do you really think he's running our country?
No. The motherfucker can't walk 10 feet without stumbling and bumbling around. He can't say 2 sentences without fucking up words. Is he running the country? Fuck no.
Please. Who above him? Who are the puppeteers? Here's how you'll know that everything I've said is the truth. When they come out and they just blast me, they have to. They have no choice because the devil has no choice in this matter. God is coming for him. And I'm talking about the Christ Jesus God. That is the one that's coming after him. And there's a big storm coming and they know it. So they have to go and threaten you with everything from Q and on or whatever they want to say. Do you know what Q really means? It means question. That's what one of these people told me. And I said, well, that seems like a good thing. Anon, question, right? Anons then go out and research it to see if it's true because we've been fed their lies. Think about Monday. What happened? A Durham report was dropped. The FBI, the CIA, all of these guys are involved. Now, I know it's not all of them. The lower guys are probably just crying. But I'm asking you, warriors, to come out and tell the truth. If we would just unite.
Somehow, because he said QAnon, he's a QAnon nut. Because he said a storm is coming. How many other motherfuckers have said that? I mean, these leftist nut jobs out there have said that the same damn thing. So because he says these things, he's QAnon, right? He's this QAnon nut job, which is how all this Rolling Stone article came about in the first damn place. Because the stupid motherfucker saw this and, oh, this is great. Oh, he's a QAnon. He's QAnon. You know that boogeyman from back in 2020? You know, they had nothing else to go on except Trump's racist, Trump's a Russian asset. And people were like, fuck off. Oh, QAnon's a big thing. QAnon's feeding all this. Yeah, you remember that boogeyman? They're trying to bring it right back up again. And they're trying to use that for you not to go see this movie. For you not to realize that this is a thing. Now, if you don't even want to pay attention to that, I urge you to go watch this movie because of all these people out there screaming about how they're so oppressed and they live in shithole squalors and everything. Go watch that movie. You can get free tickets at angel.com/freedom. Go claim your free tickets and watch that. Because the dude at the very beginning, the children that are stolen from him at the very beginning, is a welder in Honduras. So he's making good money. And I guarantee you, pick any ghetto across this country, and that ghetto, the houses, the housing apartments, anything run down is still 1,000 times better than the living conditions you see these people living in. And they're making good money in their countries. Go watch it just for that. Go watch it just to see how privileged you really are. Go watch it just to see how, even in the shittiest house, you still have it 1,000 times better than most of the world does. Just go watch it for that. Prove me wrong just for that. I dare you. But because he says, oh, QAnon. Now he's a Q nut, right? The whole movie is a QAnon conspiracy. Like child sex trafficking doesn't exist because Q made it up. And this is the news media we have to deal with, ladies and gentlemen. I urge you guys to go watch that movie. I urge you to. Go watch it. It's great. It is a wonderfully written, damn good acting, damn good directing, nice production value. Even for just $15 million, it rivals some of the best you got out there. For just $15 million, it is beating out Indiana Jones that had what? A budget of like 200, 300 million? It's beating out that with a $15 million budget. Makes you wonder why these movies are 200, 300 million. Because if you can create a movie like that for $15 million, what are they doing with these $200, $300 million movies? Where is all that money going to? Because if you can create what they created with $15 million, movies like Indiana Jones and Elemental and all those other ones that are failing hard at the box office, damn sure don't need that budget. By the way, this was actually supposed to come out, 3 years ago? I can't find anything on it, but it's supposedly Disney had bought this out and kept it shelved. And if that's true, I understand why. Disney's coming for your kids too. They always have been. But let's just kind of relax a little bit here because, yeah, that's a thing. I just had to get all that off my chest because I was in the movie theater and I read this whole Rolling Stone article here, and I read a few more about it before the movie began. And every single one of them, every single one of the articles that had written anything about this were pure trash. Every fucking bit of it. I mean, look, this was an independent film. Okay, so you're not gonna get like big money for something like that, like Liberty or Death podcast and the Rumble chat. If I was the actors, I would be pissed on the high budget movies because they could actually ask for more money. This was an independent film, so you're not going to get a lot of money. The fact that they could actually do what they did in the movie, like I said, off $15 million is fucking amazing, number one. But number two, like I said, where is all the money for these big companies going then? I mean, like I said, Indiana Jones was like $200 million, $300 million budget, somewhere around there, in between there somewhere. And they made less than this one did. This one made like $11 million in its opening day, something like that, close to $12 million in its opening day. It almost made back every bit of money, so that from here on out, it's all fucking profit. They almost made back on opening day the amount of money they spent. And for the quality that this movie is, makes you question the rest of the industry. But we all know how, especially with the Corey Feldman stories, you know, the Corey brothers and everything like that. Not the brothers, but the Corey kids. Corey Feldman. What was it? Who was it that was who was that dude? Jesus, what was his name? Weinstein? Henry Weinstein, something like that. Harvey Weinstein. Yeah. Yeah, we all know about Hollywood. Hollywood does it too, and that's probably why they tried to keep this movie under wraps. Because if you saw what they were doing, yeah. And if it ever came out like it did with Harvey, yeah. But yeah, I just wanted to get that off my chest. I wanted to get it all out there because I was kind of pissed walking into that, reading these, because I was like, there's no fucking way any of this could be true. Number one, our media lies to us all the fucking time. But for you guys to bring QAnon, like, that's not the only article that does it, but for you guys to bring QAnon in it to try to shame something like this so people won't watch it because, oh my God, QAnon is a horrible conspiracy, even though it's less than 5,000 people who believe in that shit. Yeah. So I walked into the movie with all this, and I was just like, I got to see it. I got to check it out. I got to see what's going on. I've got to understand exactly what they're talking about with all this. And it's exactly what I thought. All these articles you read about this are pure fucking bullshit. But I wanted to throw that in there. That wasn't even planned. I was just actually going to speak about that later on. But as I was watching the movie, I was thinking about, you know, I just got to get it out there as soon as this is done. As soon as I go back home, start up the show, I've got to get it out there because that was fucking stupid. It really was. To write all that, to try to paint that movie in that kind of light was incredibly stupid. And Rolling Stone and all these other articles, just all you have to do is just search for it and just start reading articles. All these articles out there that are actually trying to go after this movie, if it's never actually even crossed your mind or you're even questioning that if the media lies to you, watch that movie and then read the articles they wrote about it. Watch the movie. Or you can do the exact opposite. Read the articles and go watch the movies. Hell, at angel.com/freedom, you can pick up some free tickets if you want to. Go watch it for free. And see if it's really true or not that the media lies to you. All right, let's take a hard little switch here because I'm done with that. Like I said, I urge every single one of you to go watch that movie. It is a great movie. It really is. And it doesn't show anything grotesque. There's not a lot of action. It's more of a drama/thriller than it is anything else. So yeah, urge you guys to go watch that. But we're going to take a hard little turn here. Let me ask you guys a question. For everybody out there, you remember the 2020 kind of shit going on, 20, 21, 22, where everybody was censoring all these social media things. Were censoring. Hell, Rumble here started because YouTube was taking people and banning people for the things that they were saying, even though what they were saying was actually true. You remember all that? You remember the Twitter files? Well, let's go ahead. Of course, let me remind you a little bit. Appeals court halts depositions of 3 Biden administration officials in social media censorship suit. Basically, 5-page unanimous order right here. Share this tab instead. I'm not going to go through the fucking article because we already know. Let's go to the conclusion. It is ordered that the district court enter an order that addresses the issue of the availability of suitable alternative sources for the evidence sought in the proposed depositions and whether further discovery should be paused until its ruling on a timely filed motion of the government to dismiss. It is further ordered that the depositions are stayed pending for further order of this court. The motion for a stay pending deposition of government's mandamus petition is denied. We make no ruling on the petition for a writ of mandamus at this time. Basically, in this whole damn thing. And as a matter of fact, I'll go ahead and link that for you guys. Set that there. Hey, voice, how's it going, man? It's going good. What about me? I just had a whole damn rant about the movie Sound of Freedom and how the media is trying to make you think that's not a good movie. But yeah, basically what this whole thing is saying right here is the government can't use social media to censor your speech, kind of like what they did with YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that other. They can't use that anymore because it is a violation of the First Amendment, which was what we were saying in the first place. We all knew it was a violation of the First Amendment. But yeah, they were using companies. Instead of doing it themselves, they were using companies to censor your speech. But move this over here. I don't know how many of you know about this, but this is the thing as well. Biden admin appeals ban on contacting social media firms for censorship lawsuit. The Biden administration has filed an appeal asking the court to overturn a historic ruling that blocks government agencies from contacting or working with big tech companies to censor posts on social media. Attorneys acting on behalf of President Joe Biden and a host of federal agencies on Wednesday filed a notice of appeal, PDF, which is only one page in this article right here. I had to go searching for it because guess what? Before we continue a little further, you can see it right here. I will take this and I will link this as well to both sides of the chat. I even put it in the comments section over here on Rumble. Look, USDC number 322 CV 1213. What happens when you search that? What was it? Social media. As a matter of fact, it's right there, still on the screen, right? Yeah. Okay. USDC NO space 3 colon 22 dash CV dash 1213. Share this tab instead. Got it in the search bar. Zero 3747 0900977 doesn't justice.com. Oh, what is this? None of that is there. Nothing. 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 As a matter of fact, let's go to courtlistener.com. Put in the same thing. What does it show? It's been scrubbed from the internet, guys. This document, oh, where is it? Yeah, this document that's on screen right now, that comes from Document Cloud, because I had to go onto Twitter to find it, where somebody downloaded it, uploaded it somewhere, and then shared it from there. All of it is gone off the internet, except for Twitter. It's not even in the Wayback Machine. It's been scrubbed. But yeah, 2 states and some private individuals brought suit against the president and other federal defendants, claiming violation of the First Amendment during discovery purposes, preliminary injunctions. Basically, let's go back to the article a little bit before I do the basically. Let's go a little bit further. Attorneys on, we read that. With the U.S. Supreme Court of Appeals for the Fifth Circuit in Louisiana seeking to overturn a landmark ruling the day prior in a censorship by proxy lawsuit brought by Louisiana and Missouri. Republican attorneys, I love this. Republican attorney generals. Why do you even have to say Republican in that? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Republican attorney generals in Louisiana and Missouri sued Mr. Biden and several government agencies in May 22, accusing them of pushing social media companies to censor posts and take down accounts in which their complaint alleged was one of the greatest assaults on freedom of speech by federal officials in American history. It actually is. That is, by the way, the First Amendment says Congress shall make no law, basically telling you what to say and not to say. Congress shall make no law restricting the freedom of speech. Now, they didn't make a law, but they did use social media to make these laws, to take down things like the Hunter Biden laptop story, to stop medical misinformation about a certain jab that everybody was saying that it's not working. It doesn't stop the spread. Because Dr. Birx herself had come out and said, we knew it wouldn't stop the spread. Yeah, they censored that. Now, there are some things that I will admit that does need to be censored from social media sites, censored from things like that, like child pornography, pretty much murders happening, incredible abuse to animals happening, things like that. That needs to stay off. That really does. But talking about something that actually could have changed the course of this country, because the Hunter Biden laptop story was true, but it was somehow Russian disinformation, and all big tech social media sites were told to watch out for something like that because it's coming, even though the laptop the FBI had since 2019 and knew about it since 2019. They knew it was true. They censored it from the internet. Y'all remember that? But yeah, he's trying to appeal the court's decision so he can go back to doing that to you. Let me say that again. The President of the United States of America is trying to appeal a decision by the Supreme Court so he can go back and make sure that you don't say things like Hunter Biden is a crackhead. Let that sink into you. The motherfucker who was on tape saying, yeah, I'm a crackhead. I smoked Parmesan cheese thinking it was crack. I've probably smoked more Parmesan than anybody you know. Yeah, because I've never known anybody to smoke Parmesan. And the fact that you even took one hit, yeah, you did smoke more Parmesan than anybody I know. If he gets his way, you can't even say anything like that. If he gets his way, 2020, 2021, 2022 will look like fucking child's play. And he's appealing the decision for let's see, Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Agency, the Department of Homeland Security, and the Department of Justice are prohibited from taking range of actions regarding social media companies, including communicating with them about censoring content. If he gets his way, these three-letter agencies are going to stifle the way you can talk and make sure you can only think one way. And it's their way. I want you all to understand that is what's happening. That is what's coming down. That is what he is trying to do. Now, do I think it's going to work? Considering what the Supreme Court has done here recently? Fuck no. But considering you got Ketanji Brown Jackson, who can't even define what a woman is, and says that the overturning of affirmative action is a problem because she's only on the bench because of affirmative action. By the way, she did say that shit. She only sits on the Supreme Court because Biden wanted to choose a black woman. Well, he found a black woman that can't define what a woman is. And she admits she only sits up there because of affirmative action, not because she's capable of doing it. Which, by the way, Ketanji Brown Jackson, 80% of her child pornography cases, she went lenient on. And the 80% that she went lenient on were able to go out and did damn reoffend. One of them in a huge case where the guy crossed state lines to fuck a 13-year-old girl. He got 15 months. He was released, and within a month later, fucked a little girl again. She sits on the Supreme Court. So, yeah. You can go ahead and read this whole thing here from NTD. It just keeps getting stupider. They're trying to justify the fact, shocking and appalling and concerning Mr. Doherty and Trump. A Trump appointee wrote in Wednesday's decision that the Republican attorneys generals who sued Biden administration have produced evidence of a massive effort by defendants from the White House to federal agencies to suppress speech based on its content. They fucking did. Hey, stop picking on the smartest guy. Joey knows. Oh, we're about to pick on him even fucking more. Judge said that the agencies named in the lawsuit, along with their staff members, are prohibited from meeting or contacting by phone, email, or text message, or engaging in any communication of any kind with social media companies urging, encouraging, pressuring, or inducing any manner of removal, deletion, suppression, or reduction of content containing protected free speech. Sounds like a good thing. And it is a good thing. But we know they're going to circumvent that because the three-letter agencies can't do that. But who's to say these three-letter agencies can't go to this one person that then goes to social media, that then goes to Twitter, that then goes to YouTube and says, hey, the three-letter agencies want you to take this down. Watch out for that. Because they're not doing it themselves. They're using somebody by proxy to do something by proxy again. It's not going to solve anything, really. Let's just be realistic about it. It's not going to solve anything. They're just going to add another middleman into the situation and say, well, we didn't do it. We just told this person over here we wish that this would happen, and that person went and told them that it needs to happen. Fuck life. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, wait. Also, let me go ahead and give you this too here. This was their actual appeal to it. Go ahead and put it in the comments section here too. Why? Let me see. There we go. Add comment. Go ahead and put that link in there too. That was the Joseph R. Biden in his official capacity as president. Share this tab instead. Joseph R. Biden in his official capacity as President of the United States of America et al. Wait a minute. That's coming from storage.court listener. Just to make sure. Okay, yeah, it is still there. That is still an active link. So instead of going to courtlistener.com and then searching for this, you actually have to go to storage.courtlistener.com to look for this. Aha! Caught you slipping. But anyway. By the way, like Liberty popped up and said, quit picking on the smartest guy Joe Biden knows. Fuck no, we're going to pick on this dude even more. So we all know about the cocaine that was found at the White House. Here's the incredible thing about this. Now, I've been following this story very, very deeply, reading everything I can about this. And at the beginning of this story, there were multiple places saying different things. Like, it was found outside in the bushes, and it was found at the very entrance of the West Wing, and it was found in the library in the West Wing, and it was found inside the Situation Room at the West Wing. Let me go, let's see, this one right here. July 6th. Yeah, July 6th, this one right here. If I'm not mistaken, Forbes was saying this was found outside the entrance to the West Wing. Now it has been actually stealth edited. I love this. It is very unlikely that it will ever be determined who brought the bag of cocaine into the White House, but there has been no shortage of finger pointing, with most of it coming from the critics of President Joe Biden. How is it very unlikely that it will ever be determined? You're going to sit there and tell me in one of the most secure places in this country, you can't just look on a camera that is all over the place in the White House, except for in the Oval Office, unless they put those cameras there, except for the Situation Room where cameras cannot be because of very classified information. You're going to sit there and tell me that in one of the most secure places, you're not going to find somebody who took a dime bag of cocaine out and put it in a cell phone cubbyhole? You're going to sit there and tell me you're not dusting for prints to find out who touched that bag so you can find a general idea of who knew about its existence? You're going to tell me that you're not even willing to go that far? Good fucking God. The smartest guy he knows, a can of corn with a smile on it. Where the camera's not working or something? No, it was an Epstein incident again, apparently. No, it's from what they're saying, it's a highly trafficked area, so we can't tell who put that in there. We can't sit there and look at who was the last person to go into that cubby hole, that certain specific one to put your cell phone in so you can't bring it in a classified area. We can't tell on the camera who was the person that used that last. I love it. I fucking love it. This one right here says it was in the library. I remember that shit because I read this one and then I read that one and I was like, wait. No, these are two different areas. What the fuck's going on? And this one has been stealth edited now. CBS News, Republicans request Secret Service briefing on cocaine found at the White House. They were saying, hey, this one was in the library. This one's been stealth edited now to actually put down real information. This one was fucking great. No, this isn't actually it because this is the one with Karine Jean-Pierre. That wasn't it. Was it this one? Yeah, it was this one right here. This one is fucking great. Substance found in White House West Wing test positive for cocaine. This was written on July 4th. And this one has been stealth edited because when I read this, my wife actually brought it to my attention. This is the first thing I brought up. And baby, do you remember me reading this article? It said in this line, we have a yellow bar stating cocaine hydrochloride, a DC firefighter stated in a radio communication at 8:49 p.m. Now it says Sunday, but in this article it said Saturday. So everybody's been fucking all this up. Every bit of information from the very beginning, everybody's been fucking all this up. So it's really hard to understand what's going on, and I feel like that's on purpose. I really do. But yeah, everything in this is changing. Which one was this one? Why did BBC News. BBC News was reporting on it as well, and they were saying, you know, they don't even know where it was or anything like that, and it was literally like 2 or 3 pages. Look at this. The White House complex was closed and precautioned off at 12:45 local time on Sunday after it was discovered. Wait a minute. I'm sorry, not 12:45. That was 20:45. 20:45, they quarantined everything off. And at 20:49, they called it in. But yeah, this one right here even had the wrong time. BBC got it wrong. They had the wrong time. They were actually, it was like 12. It was at like 12 in the afternoon when they were claiming that this happened. So it's incredibly hard to find this situation. But here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. Here's what's really going on. Apparently, I fucking closed it. Oh, you son of a bitch. But anyway, we'll go back to this one. I closed the wrong one. But apparently, it was found in the cubbyhole outside of the Situation Room, which, if you don't know what it is, the Situation Room, let me refresh this because the video is going to be completely fucking different here. But I paused you, you bitch. The Situation Room is where everybody, you know, meets up to talk about what's going on. It's a highly classified area. You can't bring any electronics in at all whatsoever unless it's already been in the room and cleared and everything. You can't do anything, right? You're even scanned for electronic devices. You're scanned for anything metal, of course. When you go in there, it's an incredibly self-contained area. Like it's on its own kind of network, and the only anything going into that on its network is just a fiber to bring internet into the room. But yeah. It's the most secure area, and it was found in a cubbyhole where you would put your cell phone or any other electronics. It was found in a cubbyhole outside of the Situation Room, from what we're being told now. Okay? But this is where it gets incredibly fucking stupid. Kayleigh McEnany breaks with Trump. No way cocaine at the White House is Hunter Biden's. Why not? Former White House press secretary Kayleigh McEnany threw cold water on the suggestion cocaine found at the White House on the holiday weekend could have belonged to Hunter Biden, the president's son. For it to be Hunter Biden, he left on Friday. He was at Camp David. There is no way it is conceivable to think cocaine could sit for a 72-hour period at the White House. So I would rule him out at this point. Okay. It was found in the cell phone lockboxes right outside. Not like a cubbyhole where everything's open. You can see it. No. It's a lockbox. You put a key in, you lock it. You put your cell phone in. You close the door, you put a key in, you lock it, you take the key with you. Then you return the key when you get your stuff out. So you're going to tell me a crackhead who's got cocaine on him doesn't want to take it in there, or accidentally takes it out of his pocket when he takes his phone out, lays it in there, doesn't even realize it's there, locks it up, takes the key out. Once he's done in the Situation Room, comes back out and grabs his cell phone because that's the only thing he thinks is in there, closes the boxes. You're going to sit there and tell me that can't be his. Because he left the Friday after the Situation Room to give the account of what's going to happen. After he left the Situation Room that Friday, you're going to tell me that you scour the White House every single day? Every nook and cranny? Every corner? Because I fucking highly doubt that. In the most secure area, you're actually not going to scour for shit. Why? Because you won't find shit. Let's just be honest. If you're not looking for shit, you're not gonna find shit. Apparently, there is a guard there 24 hours a day, too. Yeah. Yeah, they try to... Dude. Yeah, I remember Rob going over that, too. Oh, my God. Yeah, but there ain't no way you're going to sit there and tell me this can't be his because he wasn't there. This sounds like a game of Clue. Yeah, it does sound like a game of Clue. Hunter Biden in the Situation Room with cocaine. There's no way that happens. You're just full of shit. You lose a turn. But yeah, let's see. For a 72-hour period at the White House, so I will rule him out. McEnany, who is a Fox News host, said Thursday on network's flagship morning show talk program, news broke earlier this week that a suspicious white powder was found. Yeah, we knew about that. On Wednesday, former President Trump, who McEnany worked for, lashed out over at the media over the coverage of a story suggested by cocaine belonged to Hunter Biden, who has publicly chronicled his history of drug use. So you're going to tell me a crackhead isn't going to have cocaine, which is the main substance in crack, isn't going to have cocaine at the White House? Really? Really? Let me ask you a question. What does this look like to you? Now, let me turn this down a bit because it is the sound is incredibly high and it's just crackly and it just sounds horrible. But what does this look like to you? Oh, no, there's music. I can't. Look at this. Look at this. He reaches up with both hands, wipes his nose. Now it's it's great placement for him. Look how fucking zooted Biden looks in the first damn place. This dude looks fucking coked out of his goddamn brain. Look at him. He starts cheesing as soon as his son goes to sniff. Dude looks coked out at the very fucking bit. Let's just look. Where is it? Dude looks coked the fuck out. And then as soon as he turns, puts his hands up, Biden smiles. What is he smiling at? He's looking straight at Hunter. He's looking straight the fucking Hunter. He's not looking at Jill. Jill looks pissed off in the first place. But he's looking straight at Hunter. Big ass smile on his face while he does that. Wipes his nose and then walks away. Come on. Come on now. What are we doing? You gonna sit there and tell me that shit? So, of course, the media blows up about this. Now, this is fucking great. Apparently, we all thought Karine Jean-Pierre was done because she's been gone for a minute. Well, she's back. Fuck our lives. She's back. This is what she had to say when she was asked about the situation from, I don't even know who the hell this is. This woman was asking her a question about it, but y'all listen to this. This is fucking great.
Secondly, sorry to bring up cocaine again, but there was a question yesterday during the press gaggle
I want it lower?
Andrew Bates.
There we go.
That was, I guess, he said that he was avoiding it because of the Hatch Act. I'm just asking again, can we just say once and for all whether or not the cocaine belonged to the Biden family?
So, a couple of things there. He mentioned the Hatch Act because the question was posed to him in using Donald Trump, and so he was trying to be very mindful. Okay, I hear you, but you're asking me.
He used that because the question was about Donald Trump, so he was trying to be mindful? What fucking kind of question is that?
question, so I'm answering it for you. And so that's why he said the Hatch Act. So I would,
All right, I'm sorry. What kind of answer
have
is
you
that?
read the transcript and read the transcript fully so you can see exactly what he was trying to say. So that's number one. So we're not avoiding the question. That is not true. We've answered this question, litigated this question for the last 2 days.
You have litigated the question for the last 2 days. The only thing you have said on this entire damn time. Let's go back here. Yeah. Okay. Joe's going. You sneaked off for one without me. Yeah. That's probably what he did. But yeah. The only thing she has said about this entire thing, like she does every time she gets on stage to take questions from the audience, we're not going to speak on it about this time. This is an ongoing story. I can't speak on it. That's the only thing she has ever said. Most transparent administration in history, right?
Exhaustively. There has been some irresponsible reporting about the family, and so I got to call that out here. And I have been very clear. I was clear 2 days ago when talking about this over and over again as I was being asked a question. As you know, and media outlets reported this, the Biden family was not here.
You have been very clear about this by saying I'm not going to speak on it at this time. I was very clear. No, the Biden family wasn't here. Hold on.
They were not here. They were at Camp David. They were not here Friday. They were not here Saturday. They were not here Sunday. They were not even here Monday. They came back on Tuesday.
Which is a complete fucking lie. It's a complete fucking lie. Because there are reports out there. And as a matter of fact, let me try to bring that up as well. But yeah, they saw him at the pool at like 6:59 or something like that, or 6 something late, kind of late on Friday afternoon or Friday night, apparently. Not at White House. I can't spell either. Yeah, this is great. Fumble fingers. Where was that little clip? Let's see. I'll just go ahead and hit this tab real quick. What? What the fuck? I'm not going back up there because that'll be censored. That'll be brought down just for that image. Where was that? I remember that because somebody had posted that. Let's see. Here it is. Why was this the first one? Okay, so they're not there, right? In-town pool report number 10 rolling. Poolers saw Joe Biden, baby Beau, and Hunter Biden climbed into the presidential SUV President Biden followed at a few minutes later. Motorcade rolling to Fort McNair as of 6:34. Okay, so 6:34 p.m. So yeah, they were there Friday. They were actually there Friday. Just straight up fucking lied. Let's see. Which one was it? Yeah, this one. So let's go back and finish this up because this is some dumb shit.
To ask that question is actually incredibly irresponsible. And I'll just leave it there. Okay.
You didn't answer the question. Hold up. How are you going to leave it there? You snooty little snarky ass bitch. She asked, once and for all, is the cocaine belong to anybody in the Biden family? Well, I've said this before. They were not there. And people have been irresponsibly reporting on this. And I'm just going to leave it there. How does that answer the fucking question? But yeah, she thinks she's a historical figure, ladies and gentlemen. Now, here's the thing. I've been talking about this myself. You know, I've, especially since this has happened, you know, I caught this very, very, very soon. You know, I was streaming last Saturday as a matter of fact, my wife brought it up to me while I was trying to finish everything up. It was real late at night, but my wife brought it up to me. She brought the story, into my view on that. I've been thinking about this, and I've been going over about this, and I think Dan Bongino is 100% correct in here. Well, I'm not going to say 100, but damn near 100% correct.
So here's a quick explainer for Cocaine Gate for everyone who is looking for an inside perspective on what really went down. Here's the issue here. There's going to be a lot of commentary on this from people who have not done security or aren't even remotely familiar with how security at the White House even works. It's a roughly 18-acre complex. So here's the thing. It's surrounded by...
I want you all to understand that Dan Bongino used to actually be... I think he was a Secret Service or something like that. Let me look at this up. Yeah, so he was Secret Service at one point in time. Residence details, Secret Service. So this dude knows how this kind of shit works. All right.
By magnetometers and checkpoints. They all have numbers and names. I'm not going to tell you what they are, but whatever. Zebra 62 for the sake of this video here. You can only enter that complex through, say, Zebra 62 and Zebra 61 and these other specific checkpoints. You can't get dropped in from the roof. You can't get tunneled in from below. You have to go in through one of those checkpoints. They surround the entire 18 acres. So whether this cocaine was found in the Lincoln bedroom or in, say, the diplomatic reception room, it doesn't matter. Somebody had to bypass a security magnetometer checkpoint to get that in there. You understand? It doesn't matter. The 18-acre complex is like a ring surrounding the whole thing. The only way to get in is to go through one of those checkpoints, right? So now you have to ask yourself, well, who could have possibly went through a checkpoint and brought cocaine in? The answer is no one. It's someone who would have bypassed the checkpoints. Well, who bypasses the checkpoints? The Secret Service with the protectees. Biden, the Biden family members, Jill Biden. The Secret Service doesn't go through the checkpoints. They have guns. What the hell are they going to go through the checkpoints for? To detect guns? And they bring the protectees with them. The Secret Service didn't have cocaine on them. So it had to be one of the protectees. There's no other explanation.
Yep.
They would never have gotten through the checkpoint. There's not a chance in hell. They were driven in, probably one of the family members was likely driven in by the Secret Service who had it on him, found it, and just left it in the White House. It's a simple explanation, man. Occam's razor. Keep it simple, stupid. Sad, but true. That is most likely what happened. It's the only way that would have got in there. No one's getting in the 18-acre complex. Nobody. Not staff, no one else with cocaine on them, period. There you go. There's your explainer in 2.5 minutes or less.
Dan Bongino.
He is correct, ladies and gentlemen. He is correct. As somebody who has actually been in the West Wing of the White House when I was younger, being a military contractor, yes, he is 100% correct. So the only people that would have been able to get anything in is people who were able to slide past security. Now, he says in there that Secret Service wouldn't have cocaine on them. Dude. I know you were Secret Service, but you're giving too much credit to people who have a lot of availability to do it. So, again, it's somebody that slid past security. And who has the ability to do that? Well, the people protecting family members or VIPs. And the only people that would have gone through roughly around that time that could bypass security would have been the Biden family and their protection detail. Now, you're going to sit there and tell me, for somebody that has admitted to having a crack problem, you're going to tell me that somebody who is on video looking zooted out of his fucking mind while his dad laughs at him or smiles at him as he apparently takes another hit. You're going to tell me it's not his? Come the fuck on. 2 + 2 = 4. I get it. Correlation doesn't equal causation. 2 + 2 = 4, not 97, assholes. But apparently they think you're too stupid to actually come to this conclusion yourself. When you look all this up and you look at this information, you're too stupid to come to this conclusion yourself, so we're going to make you think whatever we want you to think. That was fucking Hunter Biden's coke. Stop playing fucking games. Stop lying to us. That was Hunter Biden's fucking cocaine. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. Because if it were Trump Jr. or Ivanka Trump, they'd already be in fucking prison. But yet we can't find out in a very secure area with cameras all over the fucking place. We can't find out who opened that little cubby hole. Who was the last person to use that cubby hole? Apparently we can't find that out. Yeah, they think you're that fucking stupid. Let's see, what is this one? Yeah, that was, I brought that one up. That one. Yeah, so that's it. For everybody over on the YouTube side, there is some cuckery afoot, and it will not be normalized. We will not let men be effeminate fucking bastards who can't stand up for themselves. If you want to know what I'm talking about, you're going to have to jump over to Rumble only, because we will be cutting the feed to YouTube, because YouTube doesn't like us. And I'm going to say some shit, and there will be shit said in this interview that YouTube's probably not going to like. So go ahead and hit that Rumble there. Follow me over there on Rumble, because this is going to be cringe, hard to listen to. And every single man in the chat is going to have an issue with what you're about to hear. But we're going to take a little break here. I'm going to be cutting the Rumble. And I got to blow my nose while this is going on. So be back in about 3 minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, the mainstream narrative has become cancerous to society. Currently, there is no known cure, but doses of other treatments have shown some promising results. Off-label use has been authorized.